Get huge savings all summer long with the Buy Here, Sell Here program at the Team Automotive Group. Sell your vehicle to us and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get Team VIP service at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
That would be concerning and maybe set a precedent moving forward.
If you have plans to be outside, you might hit a couple of these little passing showers.
A drug bust and a few arrests made. Look at what they hauled in here.
Good Friday morning. Thank you for joining us here on 9 News Now. Folks, we have made it to a Friday, and that probably is the best news today because we've got a lot that we're looking ahead to in this weekend, including your forecast. Before we get to Dr. Steve, we want to tell you about some things happening in the traffic world. Johnny Asian's been keeping his eyes on a number of things, including an incident involving a pedestrian. Johnny, what are you hearing right now?
That is our breaking news in the traffic world right now, as a pedestrian has been struck right here on at the intersection. It's a pretty interesting intersection. One side is Gus Young, the other side is Greenville Springs Road. That's Foster Drive right here, and that's where that pedestrian was apparently struck earlier this morning, and we understand now that that pedestrian was taken to the hospital in critical condition. So we will keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, traffic flow is slowing down coming out of Denham. This is I-12 right as the traffic approaches the Amite River Bridge. That's going toward Baton Rouge out of Denham Springs, and we kind of follow that along this morning in the 10-12 merge. That looks really good from the merge all the way into the downtown area. Again, our drive times inbound from Juban to the 10-12 about 16 to 18 minutes. Average speeds are slowing down into the 40s, so we'll keep an eye on that. But again, our top story, pedestrian struck on the corner of Foster and the Greenville Springs Gus Young intersection and taken to the hospital in critical condition. We will let you know the updates as soon as we get them right here at WAFB with our First Alert Traffic. 7:04 First Alert Weather. Steve Caparata has a gorgeous morning sunrise and a lot to talk about in the weather department too. Steve, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, beautiful sunrise shot from our Sky 9 camera in Port Allen. Just a few high clouds off in the distance, but starting out quiet this morning. That view brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. Low to mid 70s to start out. Baton Rouge 75, Gonzales 72. New Roads right now checking in at 73 degrees. Our First Alert radar network is all quiet, but boy, it got pretty active yesterday evening. Storms kind of danced around Baton Rouge, but some of you got in on some heavy rain and some strong storms as well. I think we'll be pretty quiet here through the morning. Temperatures near 90 at noon. Into the afternoon, highs mid to upper 90s. I'm going a little bit above model guidance, going 98 for a high, which would tie a record today, and your rain chances running about 40%. Let's give you a look at the rain chances on Futurecast. It does keep it generally dry here through the morning. That's noon. We'll pause again at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Scattered showers, a few storms showing up. It indicates maybe they're a little more numerous out to our west, and then has those quickly shifting offshore. And by this evening does have us completely dry, which does spell good news for high school football tonight. I think we'll largely be okay for those games. Now, overnight into tomorrow morning, we keep an eye out. There could be another disturbance dropping south. Indications right now, most of that energy stays a little bit west of us, but it is something to keep an eye on late tonight into tomorrow. So with the potential of that disturbance, the Storm Prediction Center has in western, central, northwestern Louisiana a 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather later today, tonight. Basically from Woodville through Baton Rouge to Houma, a 1 out of 5 marginal risk of severe weather. So we can't rule out an isolated strong storm again today. As I warned you yesterday, you get the north to south moving storms this time of year. They tend to be more active. Here's some good news though. Both Southern and LSU home opener Saturday evening should be dry. Southern kicks it off at 6 o'clock tomorrow against Jackson State. Starts out near 90 degrees, falling into the low 80s, so that's warm. But humidity will be lower tomorrow, so that should help out as well. And a half hour later, it's the Battle of the Tigers in Tiger Stadium. LSU hosting Grambling. We'll kick it off in the upper 80s, falling down into the upper 70s. Check it in on the tropics now. Still nothing around us. Gulf of Mexico is all quiet. This is Hurricane Lee. Farther out in the Atlantic, if you missed it, Tropical Storm Margot formed on Thursday. That one expected to stay out over the open Atlantic, even as it potentially eventually becomes a hurricane. Boy, Lee just exploded yesterday, went from a Category 1 yesterday morning to a Category 5 last night. Overnight, though, and this morning, some indications of westerly wind shear impacting it, so it's probably leveled off for now, if maybe not even starting to weaken a touch. But as of 4 a.m., it was still a Category 5, 165 mile-per-hour winds. The good news here is while we've got this incredibly powerful hurricane out there right now, it is out over the open ocean, expected to stay out over the open ocean right on into early next week. Still too soon to speculate on potential impacts to the U.S. East Coast, Bermuda, maybe even the Canadian Maritimes. We'll keep an eye on that next week. Not, though, expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico, most importantly for us. All right, so scattered storms today, hot, a high of 98. We'll get a weak front slipping down to the coast probably by tomorrow morning, and so maybe a small rain chance early tomorrow. By Saturday afternoon, I think we're completely dry. 95 still plenty warm, but humidity should start to really drop tomorrow. That will help out, and with that drier air come a couple of nicer mornings. 68 Sunday morning, still 95 for a high Sunday. We'll keep it dry. Monday, again, the upper 60s, but could hit the upper 90s. We'll go mid to upper 90s for highs right on through the mid part of next week. Looks like maybe another cool front in here Wednesday of next week, and similar to the one we expect over the next 24 hours, main impact looks to be a little bit of drier air, lower humidity towards the latter part of next week as well. All right, just about 7:09. Let's get back to Liz.
All right, Steve, thank you for that. Well, we want to let you know what came out of last night's East Baton Rouge Parish School Board meeting. They had the regular meeting and an emergency transportation one right before that, letting us know what the plan is to address the bus driver shortage and how to fix some of these issues while they're still short. Perry Robinson was at that meeting last night where the EBR School Board decided to modify the school schedule times for middle and high schoolers. So, starting this coming Monday on September 11th, school class will start 10 minutes earlier at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's also going to dismiss 5 minutes later at 2:30 p.m. So bus pickup times, we're told, on average are going to be about 15 minutes earlier than they are right now. This is only impacting those middle and high school students, and this is only going to be the bus schedule to fix that issue for this semester. Once students go back after winter break, they're hopefully going to go back to their regular schedules. So again, this is all to address that bus driver shortage, to make sure that kids are getting picked up and dropped off in a timely manner. Not having any impact on the elementary school students, but this is a temporary solution. Remember, today the East Baton Rouge School Board is trying to hire more bus drivers. So today they're hosting that bus driver hiring event. They're looking for both full and part-time bus operators. That fair is actually happening today at the Instructional Resource Center on South Foster Drive, 1 to 3 p.m. You just show up, let them know you're interested. They're making it real easy. In fact, they're offering training courses for you to get a CDL, a commercial driver's license. They're also providing training. Part-time positions, they're starting that pay at around $13 an hour. If any of this sounds appealing to you, show up today, 1 to 3 p.m. at the Instructional Resource Center. Be a bus driver for East Baton Rouge Parish. We also need you to know that you have to keep an eye out for this man. This is a 71-year-old Mr. Theodore Wisham. He was last seen leaving his house yesterday, Thursday, on North 25th Street. Now he's wearing blue work pants, a gray Nike shirt, black work boots. So if you take a good look here, I know it's kind of a dark picture, but if you go on Facebook or the 9 News app, you can really see it in full and get a good look at him and hopefully track him down and bring him home. BRPD says that he has dementia, so if you encounter him, he might be a little bit disoriented. So go ahead and make that call to 911 or Crime Stoppers to get him home. We've also got an update here on the Juban, Florida Boulevard roundabout. So Callie Hubbard was live in Livingston Parish this morning at the very location where this roundabout is going to be. When you think about it, a lot of people here in our part of the world, not too big of fans of them, just because they're not used to them. Well, it turns out, according to the National Highway Safety Institute, they've actually done studies on this that shows roundabouts are actually safer for drivers. As long as you get that pattern going and you're paying attention, it is safer. So Callie checked in with DOTD to find out exactly where we are in the project, because if you drive around there, you'll see that there's still mounds of dirt in that area. So Rodney Mallett, spokesperson with DOTD, says that the roundabout could be coming mid-2025. In the meantime, they're a little bit worried, folks around there are, about the congestion that builds up around there. Again, that roundabout is meant to alleviate that. But if you want to take a deeper look into the plans for this, when that construction expects to pick up, Callie Hubbard has those details here in the 9 News app. We also want to let you know about this. We've been talking about security all week, and that's because today marks 1 week since that deadly shooting at the Port Allen Bruley High School football game. So day after day, we've seen the changes made to some of the football stadiums, the high school football stadiums, now in Point Capee Parish, Iberville Parish, West Baton Rouge Parish. Well, Breck now saying that they're increasing security at its stadiums too, right? So you've got Olympia Fields, you've got Memorial Stadium where some games are played. They are now going to incorporate more of that. So starting today, they're going to be requiring ID that you have to present the staff as you make your way into a rec center. So again, all rec facilities, they're trying to make it a little bit tougher for dangerous activity to happen. That's not supposed to be there. So if you want to see the different things, like the cameras they've got set up, the plans in the works to make sure that all of these facilities and parks and public spaces are safer, visit the story. We've got their plans laid out here. And remember, Breck is doing some renovations to make sure everyone stays safe whenever you attend an event. We also want to let you know, hey, iPhone users, there's an update coming out, whether you have an iPhone or iPad. You really need to make sure that you download this when you get that notification, because it's going to eliminate some of the hackers to get into that important personal information into your phone. Make sure you update that once that notification comes through. We have to talk about this. Today, we're looking ahead to an LSU Board of Supervisors meeting because head coach Kim Mulkey is set to agree on a 10-year, $32 million contract. This is big time. She would be, if this is passed, she would be the highest paid coach in women's basketball. Steve, Johnny, we're talking big money, but she's clearly worth the wait. Second year, comes in with a national championship. That's big time.
That's your friend, right? Y'all were hanging out at, what was it, the regional, super regional?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Kim, go Kim. That's not quite my salary, but it's getting up there.
Getting there, right?
It's getting up there, yeah. I've got a point in my salary, the decimal point in my salary.
Don't we all?
Yeah, yeah. Well, she might share some of that with you. You just keep hanging out with her at the games and show up. You never know. She might give you some of those millions.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
He does share a wardrobe with Kim, though. That we've seen.
Thank you very much.
That is true.
I'll take that compliment.
Yeah.
She dresses
How about
impeccably well.
Very well dressed. We'll take every bit of it. Stay with us. We'll check in with you in 10 minutes.
Get yourself summer ready with the award-winning lineup of Hondas at Team Honda. We'll help you find just the right vehicle to hit the road to whatever destination awaits you. Come shop the most awarded brand in Car and Driver's 10 Best history at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.